Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the show. We're here today with our Friday review. Episode 1925 is where all of the show notes and the links and the research and everything else will be today. And we've got a lot going on today's show. So I can't wait to get started. We'll be going over book reviews. We'll be going over some pet product reviews. We'll be going over some human product reviews, some new items that just came out of the Consumer Electronics Summit that I want to bring you in terms of biohacking. So much to be able to go over, and really looking forward to those as well, because there are a lot of topics that I'm interested in, and I know a lot of other people out there are as well. So first things first, before we get into all of those fun topics, I don't think the updates are not unfun, if that's even a word, but I do love to be able to review those because people in our community, a lot of them are into their health, into what's going on over at IHP or EquiLife or any one of our different types of foundations or online practices. And believe it or not, we are just about 6 weeks away from getting started on our next IHP Mastery class. So if you're already inside of IHP, and you're working your way through level 1, I can't recommend enough putting that pedal to the metal. Make sure, obviously, you're going through the material. The nice thing is you do have lifetime access to that. But we are starting IHP Mastery in June, and I would love for you to be a part of it. So the prerequisite is that you do already have to be IHP level 1 certified. If you're level 2, fantastic. But you can participate in Mastery, which is the highest level of really health coaching that you can get. And that is in terms of being able to get your clients, your private wellness clients, consistent results, which is really what it's all about. So it's nice to be able to help some of the people some of the time, but it's really great to be able to help all of the people all of the time. And that is what our goal is. Now, of course, the people that you're helping have to want to be helped. They have to do the work, but Mastery is about getting them to be able to create consistent change in their life. And of course, that just pays dividends for everything in your life as well. So IHP Mastery is happening right now. If you are IHP, if you're in the IHP community, obviously you probably have seen the emails. You might have seen it inside of our Facebook group. Hopefully you're checking those out and you'll find all the details. And whenever there's questions, of course, you can just email support@integrativehealthpractitioner.org. And I'm not positive, but I'm sure the URL is probably integrativehealthpractitioner.org/mastery to find out more about that. All right. Next up in the updates for the week, we will also be chatting about doing a lot of interviews on other podcasts right now. Love being able to share my message with as many people as possible. Many of them have already been recorded, and they're going to be debuting over the next few weeks and months, so we'll keep you updated. One of them I did, though, was with the Bioregulatory Medicine Institute. Again, being a member of the advisory board over there, it's a nonprofit, really trying to spread the message about what bioregulatory medicine is all about. I have many podcasts on bioregulatory medicine. You can always check them out at stephencabral.com/podcasts. I'll try to link up at least one. And what I'll also do is link up my podcast with the Bioregulatory Medicine Institute podcast with Dr. Sharon, and happy to forward that to you. Great show, great interview, really great people. And of course, Dr. Sharon being one of those people. So enjoy that show. Check it out. We'll link it up here today. And before I get into what's going on over at EquiLife, I just want to make sure, because now I actually have these in my hand, this beautiful glass container right here. See if I can see what that actually looks like on video. There we go. So being able to get this to you and kind of look at what it is. This right here is basically our Eco Glass container. You can hear that it's actually glass. And this right here is etched with the EquiLife logo, but really, really subtle. I think it's really nice. And then this is a bamboo, so sustainable wood. This is a bamboo cap, and it's airtight sealed with silicone. Pop it right on. You can keep your daily nutritional support. So basically, we've got the brand new low waste bags here that our community has asked for. We've got the vanilla and we've got the chocolate. I mean, these are really amazing. So this is what I'll be ordering right here. And this whole container right here will fit into this glass container. But of course, you can always use your glass container for the daily fruit and vegetable blend. You could use it for oats. You could use it for nuts, whatever you'd like. They'll fit really nice in these canisters. So brand new glass canister. We essentially give this away at cost. If you're ever interested, you can just head on over to Equi.life, and in the search box, you can just type Canister. Canister, as I found out, is one N, Canister. So check those out. Really proud of my team when they create amazing things like this that our community wanted. Really, I sign off on saying, yes, let's do that. But really, it's because of our community and because of my amazing team over at EquiLife that things like this can happen. So really proud of them and really appreciate all the work that they do. And right now over at EquiLife, just making sure that you know this, but you can get, and this is truly one of the most popular offers we've ever made to date. We've done it now for 3 years, but we're giving away one of our most popular products, which is the Activated B Complex. We always try to stay in stock. I always say that to you. But about a month ago, we ran out of this product, and it's pretty unbelievable. But we only use the highest quality ingredients. We never compromise. And unfortunately, the methylfolate that we use, which is the methylated version of folic acid, which is non-toxic to the body and absorbed by the body, it was out, and we just weren't willing to compromise and use anything else. So the nice thing is it's back in stock, and what we wanted to do was just say, listen, that was on us. We never want to run out of stock, but again, we have a no compromise policy. And so here's the thing. We're going to give you a free bottle. It's about a $30 value, $29.95 value, and it's completely free on all orders right now over $129. And I make sure that we are stocked up on this. So this will go through Sunday. So 2 more days. It will go through, what is that, May 16th or so? I think so. I think that's the date. But you can find the exact offer over at equi.life. But right now, free Activated B Complex, one of our most popular products to reduce stress, to have more energy, to be able to change carbs into usable energy. Get that completely free over at equi.life on all qualifying purchases. All right, podcast recap for the week. A lot of fun shows. I found myself actually wanting to talk for like 25, 30 minutes on each show. I saw myself getting to the 22-minute mark, 23-minute mark. I'm like, all right, we got to wrap this up. But these are topics that really mean a lot to me. And so hopefully you've tuned in for all the shows this week. Again, I try to keep them short so you can tune in. But Monday's show was how to shift your reality using the universal law of resonance. So if you've never heard about the law of resonance, and why some people are able to achieve their goals at a much faster rate than others, you'll want to check that out because a lot of people are doing it unconsciously to their benefit or, to their detriment. And you can check that out over at episode 1921. So just StephenCabral.com/1921. Over at 1922 is which nut milk is best and healthiest for you. So you can check that out. You can also see what is better, nut milk or cow's milk? I talk about that as well. On episode 1923, the most powerful anti-inflammatory foods in the world. And by the end of that show, I really believe, I honestly believe this, you will know how to eat and why you want to eat this way at a much deeper fundamental level so that when people in the future say, this diet's best, that's diet's best, you'll understand that what they're really talking about is fad and not deep science. Okay. And yesterday I interviewed Dr. D. Martini. Hopefully you checked that out. His book is going to be our book review of the week. I love talking to great people and experts in their field. Most people that I interview, not everyone, but most people in their field have 20, 30 years experience that I'm chatting with on the podcast. I mean, these people are the real deal. And, Dr. DeMartini's been doing this now, I think he said for like 30 or 40 years. And so, he's been in this for some time. I think it was about 40 years. He actually met Dr. Paul Bragg. He goes through that story. So a really fun conversation with him. And I love bringing that to you. That was episode 1924. And of course, that brings us up to today's episode with all the links at StephenCabral.com/1925. All right, let's go through some of my favorites of the week. First things first, I was really, I'm always asking the community, what do you want me to review? What would you like me to talk about? How can I find better quality, clean products for you? And one of those products was actually by the company, Natural Dog Company. So I'd seen a lot of great reviews from this product online. I hadn't necessarily purchased it myself. And then I kept getting actually asked to go check it out. So I said, okay, let me purchase some of these and reached out to the company. Super nice company, great customer support. I don't know if they have a coupon code offer for us, for our community, but what I'll do is I'll link that up today if they do. And then I'm going to put this on, it's going to make, only some products make the the best of the best. This is going to make my StephenCabral.com resources page highlights. So my top products that I use with my family and my dog are there. So for many of you, and really beautiful packaging, I want to talk about it in just a second, but many of you don't know the story. Our IHPs do, but not, I don't know if I've shared this publicly on this show. I talk every day, so I don't always remember what I've shared and what I haven't. I think I'm an oversharer most of the time. But of course, I think just, again, it just allows people to understand that life's not always perfect. I'm not going to hide the imperfections, but I have a French bulldog. His name is Moose. Many people have heard his name before. I saw him on Instagram. I post him to my stories. And the average age for a French bulldog is between 8 and 10 years old. My buddy Moose, I can't believe it, but he's already 10 years old. But last year, my parents were watching him while my family and I went to Australia to do an IHP event in Australia. I had 55 amazing people come to that event from Australia. It was a 50-person event. We had 55 people there, and it was absolutely fantastic right before the pandemic hit. This was at the very beginning of March, and that was it. They started closing things down, and as they say, I guess the rest is history. Well, when we came back, I noticed that Moose had put on about 10 pounds, and that's a lot of weight for a dog. And he was just kind of mopey and just didn't seem himself. And so I said, well, maybe just put on a little bit more food. He was staying with his grandparents. Sometimes these things happen. And then over time, over the next month while we were in Maine, he started to develop a little cough. And I said, this isn't right. I think his body's swelling with fluid. So we took him to the vet, and right away they did a X-ray, and they could see, and then they said, okay, he needs to see a specialist right away. And typically the specialists are booked up for months in advance. And when the specialist saw the size of his heart on the X-ray, they said, we're getting him in this week. His heart was 3 times the size that it should be. And of course, that's the reason why it looked like he'd put on so much weight. There was so much edema in his body, so much swelling. So that was really scary. We obviously, you don't want that for anyone that's part of your family, and your pets are part of your family. So we love Moose. And so we said, okay, let's do whatever we need to do. So right away, we put him on medication to reduce the size of his heart. That's what you do, right? That's what I've always talked about in life-saving situations. You use the best of conventional medicine. That's what we did. But we said, what's going on here? Why the swelling of the heart? So we talked to, what I do is I talk to experts. I talk to experts in their field. I'm not a veterinarian. And so I talked to a vet with more than 30 years experience in holistic-based vet care. And unfortunately, even though we're using a very high quality dog food, it's a dry dog food. And unfortunately, this brand, unbeknownst to us, was now, I guess, found to have heavy metals just in the last year. So that was too bad. And so, basically he got lead-based poisoning. And it was over many, many years, even though we exercised him and we always kept him at a healthy weight. Anyway, I'm not going to dwell on that. We switched his diet right away. We put him on a lot of detoxifying-based food-based products, but also we used certain nutritional supplements. And again, I'm not a vet, but I'm also not going to make recommendations for your dog as well if they have heart disease. But we did use taurine for detoxification. He's a brachycephalus-based dog. They have poor detox in the first place, poor breathing. I used brochophane. Basically, I use SGS with him, which is just sulforaphane. And I use milk thistle, silymarin, with him. And then a few other products as well. And so then with that, he was given less than a year to live, and this was back in April. And so I'm happy to say, and I don't usually knock on wood, but I'll knock on wood for Moose. He's now with us 13, 14 months later. He's stabilized. He seems to be doing okay. He's 10 and a half years old or so now, and doing great, really. So we're very thankful, very appreciative that we were able to work with great experts, speak with great people, and just trying to blend as much of my background as possible with detoxification and help him as much as we can with those heavy metals, because it's not exactly the same for a dog. But in the meantime, as a French bulldog and reacting a little bit to some of the medications, the nice thing is we were greatly able to reduce those in time. So we're very happy about that. And again, you have to use your natural-based health instincts as well, because his cardiovascular specialist kept saying, keep him on the medication. And my poor dog Moose is wasting away down to like 17 pounds, and he's emaciated, and he's like licking the floor for anything. He's so hungry, and we couldn't keep feeding him more because it was the medications. We had to realize, like, no matter what the specialists are saying, here's our dog. We get it, but like, we have to reduce these medications. So again, I'm not telling you to do that, but it was the best thing for our dog, and that's what we did. So anyway, because of some of these unfortunate side effects with medication, I was really looking for a product for skincare. And I can tell you that I was looking for a clean skincare product for pets. And I want to show you just a few of these. So this one right here, the Skin Soother, is what we use on his belly and around his back legs. So all around basically his belly-based area that can get chafed, especially with a French Bulldog. The cool thing is that their logo is actually a French Bulldog. So that's pretty amazing. So it was a good fit, right? Because these dogs have all sorts of folds, and they've got the dry nose. But let me just tell you what's in the Skin Soother. Organic cocoa butter, organic sweet almond oil. Everything's organic, so I'm not going to keep saying organic. Coconut oil, safflower oil. We've got buckthorn oil, lavender, chamomile, myrrh, Candelilla wax. I don't even know if I'm saying that correctly. Let's see. And vitamin E. So really, really nice product. This is like a deodorant stick, and you can just rub it along his belly. And I rub it in with my hands afterwards as well. So I just use my fingers to rub it in. He loves it because I'm basically petting him, so he can't complain. And I actually do this before he goes to bed. So I take him for one more walk at night, and then I rub his belly. And these are brand new containers, so these are not going to look as used. I wanted to show you a nice one. This is the Wrinkle Balm. This goes great, again, under those armpits of dogs like a French Bulldog, and also great in the folds around his face. I don't get too close to his eyes, but again, this is all organic. Hemp seed oil, shea butter, coconut oil, avocado oil, jojoba oil, the Candelilla wax. I don't know how to pronounce that. Maybe someone will be able to pronounce it. Olive leaf, calendula, which is a great one for the skin. Rosemary, vitamin E. Rosemary, vitamin E are used as the natural preservatives. So this is a great one. And then one more, not everybody's dog this happens to, but as they get older, sometimes they get dehydrated, or they live in the Northeast where there's heat on, their noses will sometimes dry out. And so my dog Moose is no different. This is a brand new one. It's called the Snout Soother, appropriate, right? And this one's hemp seed, shea, coconut oil, grapeseed oil, jojoba, kukui oil, and then we've got some chamomile and rosemary. So really nice products. Again, all natural, like truly natural. I wouldn't recommend eating these, but it's that quality. And you can find these at naturaldog.com. I'll link them up, and hopefully we'll have a coupon code as well. And they'll also be in my resources pages. All right. So really nice product. I've got a couple more for you here today. The book review of the week is by Dr. John Demartini, great chiropractic doctor, but also has kind of ventured into mindset and fulfillment in life and looking at your values. So his book is called The Values Factor, The Secret to Creating an Inspired and Fulfilling Life. So this goes beyond health and really into the area of mindset. You can see all the different dog areas. Like I said, I use my books. I don't just read them, I use them. And so this book right here, the reason why I wanted to recommend it to you, it's not a small book, this is a good 60, 70 pages. But the nice thing about this, and I'll tell you this as well, it kind of breaks it down to a lot of what I talk about, which is like your health and your career and all these great things. But the thing is, you can use it as a workbook. So it's not like you need to rush through it. You could literally take it, the 10 pages at a day, like I say, and really work through this like a workbook, maybe reread a chapter if you needed to. It gives you lines to fill in. I wrote a book many, many years ago. It's no longer in print like this, but it just basically says like, hey, listen, how do we rethink and reframe where we're at? First of all, write down what frustrates you. And so we kind of look down at the frustrations, and you can actually see the lines right in that book if you're watching this on video, and you can begin to work through these things. Then it says, okay, let's link to, what are our highest values? And we go through this, because if you have a frustration about something, it shows you that you care about that area, right? It's actually teaching you about your values. Like, I get frustrated when I see people online promoting things for the sake of promoting them to make a few dollars. They don't even believe in them, or because someone else promoted their thing, so they feel they have to promote theirs. And it's like, listen, that's frustrating to me because there's so many great products out there for people. Promote what you love, promote what's healthy for people, right? So always, again, like I'm not against people making a living. You should make a living. You should make great money, right? That's part of, fulfillment in all different areas of life. But here's the thing, you can do that in a really, in a really healthy way. I mean, everything should be about health. And so the nice thing is you should always feel good about what you're able to promote and what you're doing in the world. And so again, that's a frustration of mine, is because I care about using good, clean products and doing things that benefit humanity and people. So anyway, it's a great book. I'm going to link to it as well. A couple today. So actually, I know that sometimes I take a little break from research every once in a while. I typically always bring you 2 research studies. But what I want to do is actually bring you one big tip, because I know a lot of people are getting what's a way that I won't get banned, inoculations. And what I want to say is this, whether it's a food allergy shot or inoculation, whatever it might be, there's a way that you can, and I read this is by Dr. Sharon. Okay. And so Dr. Sharon gives a tip. So I always like to give the tips or give the credit where credit's due. So a lot of people, it's painful when you get a shot in your arm. So one way that you can reduce that pain is simply give yourself a good massage, like I'm doing right now. If you're watching this on video, give it a good deep tissue massage for 20 seconds, okay? Then after that, you can either pinch the skin a little bit, you can kind of stretch it out, just like that, 5, 6, 7 times, or you can tap the skin. What's happening is you're overloading the nerves. You're overloading the nerve system. The nerves are like, okay, we get it. We got a lot going on the shoulder. And when you take your hand away and they give you a shot, well, then it's not as painful because you've essentially overloaded those nerves. Now, again, this is not saying that you should get a shot or not get a shot. I'm only talking about helping to relieve that pain, because my job in this world is to help relieve or alleviate as much pain as I can and suffering. All right. So that's that. And I've got a couple fun ones for today. So instead of doing my typical research, Consumer Electronics Summit is one of my favorite trade shows. It was always a goal of mine many years ago to go. And I went 2 years ago. Last year was totally virtual, online. And there's a couple products in the health-based space that might be interesting for you. At least you should be aware of them. The first is called the AirPop Active Plus Mask. So it's a mask with a built-in sensor that monitors your breathing rate and the air quality, so it can alert you via the app and tells you when to dispose of the mask or wash it. And what it does is also filters out about 99% of particulate matter. You can get a 4-pack as well of replacement filters for $25. This is not an inexpensive mask, but for the biohackers out there that are always looking for the new, latest, and greatest, this might be one that you want to look into. I will say that the filtration is not as high as a N95 or KN95 mask, but it is very high, higher than all of the different cloth-based masks out there, and pretty much on par or more on par than the blue surgical-based masks, because this one at least fits tight to the face. Now, with all of these products, always remember that unless you turn off the Bluetooth, you could have EMF and Bluetooth-based signals, and I'm not a huge advocate of that. This next one also, so I'll link that up today in the show notes to be able to find out more about it, stephencabral.com/1925. Personally, I'm not going to use any mask that has EMFs, but again, a lot of people, there's pros and cons, there's trade-offs, and people might want to use this, and that's okay. I get it. I totally understand. There's a new product that's very interesting. So for me, this is where I see the world going, and this is what I want to be a part of in about 5 years from now. Not yet, but about 5 years or so from now, because we're still in the infancy of it. But there's something called a Bio Button. It's an FDA cleared silver dollar size sticker. Okay, so like just about this size. And it monitors your temperature, continuously monitors your temperature, your heart rate, and your respiration when the sticker is placed on your chest. And it will send a warning if it identifies health issues such as a particular virus, etc. So to me, this is interesting. And here's why. And I know Oura Ring and Apple Watch and Fitbit and a bunch of others are alerting people as well. They're alerting people through basically body temperature. They can look at HRV, they can look at a bunch of metrics, but they're really saying, oh, your body temperature is increasing. What's going on? And it's a good thing to be looking at. And I believe these devices are amazing. Like I'm testing out a new one. Well, it's not going to be a surprise, but I bought the Apple Watch to test that out as well. But why did I buy the Apple Watch over something like the Bio Button? Well, I think Apple's going to win the tech race. So I just want to say that. I think they will beat out everybody because of their engineers and the amount of money that they can spend. But also, Apple does all of these things that this is talking about right here. And they're also doing oxygen. Okay, so it's pretty fantastic. And it's rumored that their new watch in 6 months from now, which I will test out in 6 months from now, yes, I'll have to get a different watch, will actually be the first one to detect blood sugar without using a continuous glucose monitor. It'll be through infrared. So what I want to do is stay on the cutting edge of this, but why would I get the Apple Watch? Well, here's the thing. I'm definitely not going to set it to give me my emails and text messages because all you would hear is ping, 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 because I get a million a day. But the nice thing about the Apple Watch is that you can put it on airplane mode. So it will continue to track all of your stats like an Oura Ring, which you put on airplane mode without all the EMFs. So anyway, I'll be back with that in the future, probably an Apple Watch review for the Apple Watch 6 in about a month or 6 weeks or so from now after I test it out, because maybe I won't even like it. Again, like I might not like it, but I'll give you the true review. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything, but you'll get that soon. So anyway, I want to bring you those, the Bio Button, the EarPop Active Mask. I will link up today. They're really interesting. I might actually check out the Bio Button just to check it out and use it, but we shall see what it costs and if it has to be a prescription base only. So I'll get you more information on that over at stephencabral.com/1925. That's it for today. Big Friday review. I love the Friday reviews. It's all over the place. I know it, but hopefully if you're like me and your mind kind of goes to a million different things, that this has been helpful. So of course, if it was helpful, please do feel free to share this show with anyone you believe it could serve. And I'll be back tomorrow with our Cabral House Calls answering all of our community's questions. Take care.